First of all, I want to thank Dr. Sarkar, who is himself an oncologist and who knows the pain of his patients much more than any of us, for organizing this workshop. It was long overdue. He was after us. Somehow we were not able to take time, but in any case, it is better late than never. So we had the workshop today, and I myself am non-smoker. I have never touched the cigarette. So I as a non-smoker, I could not realize the importance of this workshop until I heard each of the speaker and the kind of value, the kind of ideas and the kind of things they brought out, and some of the facts we were not aware. Through media, I think it should be known to every Goel, to every countryman. So one very startling fact is that it contributes to 1% of our GDP, tobacco, whereas the cost is almost 5% in terms of healthcare. So this is a very, very big dilemma, while 20 million people are employed. So I don't know the numbers who are suffering. So maybe one of the challenges is how to find the alternate source of livelihood for these people. And about some of the facts, this in the workshop which have come up, is that 10% of whereas only 10% of land area of India is producing tobacco, it is 11% of the world production. So that means the world production is a large amount. Is it the largest? Probably number two one is
China.
So it is a very large production is coming from India.
Second largest producer and consumer.
Second largest
consumer is China, sir. Largest producer is Brazil, I believe.
As the largest producer.
No, China.
So while we may continue to be the producer, so the choice given is that we should export rather than consume. So that is we have to make a strategy how to achieve it, and so that means that clear strategy should be there, that we shift of production from domestic to export. COTPA has to be made more stringent, and we have to, as officers, as administrator, as member of All India Service, it is our duty, from Central Service also, it is our duty to see that how we can make COTPA more stringent. Wherever required, we should take the help of our Honorable CM, the Finance Minister, and our Industry Minister, who is part of the GOA. Then one suggestion which came that the duty should not be on the length. It should be a generic duty, irrespective of the length. So this thought this thought can go to the expert committee through our expert member. This GST is on the length based on that.
Yeah. So compensation is
They are playing with this land to impact the demand.
But of course there is a counter view that it is inelastic. It is price inelastic. Am I right, sir? It is price inelastic. So the control has to come through awareness. And there are some suggestions that smoking room should be charged. So charge is not only to collect the money, but to make aware to the smoker that you have to pay for it, and not a likely. So one good thing is that the number of smokers have come down. Though the sale has not come down, but the number of smokers have come down. But then the danger is to the chain smokers have become they have become chronic smokers. So as a country we have to worry about the health of each and every individual. So we have to reach out to those people, and they may be rich. If we increase the duty, probably the consumption is not going to come down in certain sections. So we have to make a strategy to reach out to them. So for that, health department, to the health department, we should work with them that how to reach out to these people. So with these things, I hope that today's workshop is not the last we are having. We should have at least twice. We should sit twice in a year and call more people. And media has a very important role to play to take this message to each and every student. Thank you.
So you said the smoker will be charged. How?
No, there is a suggestion it has come that wherever there is a smoke room in public place like airport, there should be a nominal charge of 5 rupees, 10 rupees. We are not saying it should be charged. This suggestion has come from one of our experts.
Sir, any data on Goan smoking? Means any data on Goan smoking?
One smoking is decreased by 4% in the last 2 studies which is done. But little bit increase in the this about smokeless tobacco, but that is in the villages. So we are the best state in compared to the other states. But we have to maintain that we are at around 9.5% total use of tobacco. So we are much better. But they say that we are the best. I have to just say a few things. I just want to say there is no safe limit for tobacco. Even if you smoke 1 cigarette, you will die. You smoke 10 cigarettes, you will die. 30 cigarettes also, you will die. Only you have to select you want to die of a pistol or you want to die of AK-47. So you have to that's your decision. Then second thing is important part is we should have a long-term strategy. I will tell them.
This clip.
Long-term strategy is very important. That's what everybody has said. That we should tell government should have a deadline that by 2050 we will ban. Then you know have that farmers will change that this in next 10 years. The companies should change over from diversify themselves into so that the farmers also will be saved over a period of time. Employment which is generated also can be done by shifting of the different. So there has to be some amount of long-term strategy, which I think we will also suggest to the government that we should have a long-term plan rather than a short-term in this. Then sale of single cigarette has to be banned because cigarette this our package this is there the picture some gory pictures which are not there on the single cigarette, and a student who is first time buying cigarettes, it is difficult for him to buy a full packet. So he tends to buy because his pocket money is very less. So he buy only 1 cigarette, and 1 cigarette he cannot see those deadly faces which is there on the packet. So that also we are suggesting. Plus somewhere in vendor licensing that you should have only fixed sellers, so that only you have to walk a long distance to buy a cigarette. So that you make it little difficult for them to. The easy availability should not be there. And one thing again I want to say, the gateway to the drugs is through smoke. A child which never smokes will never go to the drugs directly. So if you want to prevent even drugs, I think you have to have a strict control over the smoking also, because it is all starts with smoke only. Once you go for smoking, slowly you graduate and you go to the drugs. And if the tobacco was invented today as a first product, it would not have seen the shelf life, because the consumers will not have allowed the drug, this product which kills. It officially kills. So only thing because it is there for such a long year, some 400 years, it is there in the market. That's why suddenly stopping is not possible. But long-term strategy has to be there. And the most important part is government has to have. See, there in one way government is trying to have a tobacco board which promotes tobacco, and on the other side they are telling us that you should not smoke tobacco. So I think they should all stop all these things which promotes tobacco in anything. And the last is the government requires a very strong political will to do all these things. It's not easy to do it, but you require a strong political will. In the end, it is a political will only which will succeed in taking over all these tobacco ideas.
Sir, and how many cancer patients due to the tobacco, or how many deaths occurs in state due to alcohol?
In our state,
Yeah.
The total number of new cancer patients which we see is around 1,500 per year. New cancer patients. Out of them, at least 30% will be of tobacco related. We are better than the Northeast. Northeast, if you go, almost 45 to 50% of the cancer are due to tobacco. But our, because the rate of tobacco consumption is less in Goa, so the number of cancer patients also are less. Like oral cavity cancer, we have only 22% compared to the UP and Bihar and Northeast, which is around 45 to 50%.
ओवरऑल रँक कितलो आसा
Huh?
रँक म्हणटा तो
Rank.
The difference is our breast cancer number is high compared to the other some of the states. In some of the states, oral cavity cancer is high, but the overall number comes to around 100 only.
दोतोर तुम्ही म्हणता की सिंगल जेन्ना सिगारेट दिली जाता पण जेन्ना बॉक्स दिलो जाता त्याच्यार इफेक्ट जाता पण असे इफेक्ट जाता खरेच
Yes, we have shown, the studies have shown that in the movie also, which they say, half the people don't want to see that also. When that picture comes, they just turn like this. So it is an effective method.
पण त्यांची
Yeah.
मेंटॅलिटी मागीर चेंज जाता
The most important part actually is now we are considered is the tax regime. We have come here for the taxation purpose, and we have called all experts here from which are dealing with economy and taxation. And the WHO has said that the more the tax, the less the smoking. But in last 4-5 years, there is no change in the tax slab for the tobacco, and it's considered a sin product. So Amka request us to the government that it should increase. And in GOM, group of ministers, our minister is that Mr. Marvin, this industry minister, he represents us. She also represents in the as an officer there. So we are trying to say that instead of 28% GST, it should be increased to 40% at least, and the compensation says be so that the overall taxation should be at least 75, which is as 75%, which is the standard of WHO. Amcha ha somewhere around 63 to 64%. So we can still increase it by around another 15% or so. So I think there's an increase, the rate of smoking will go down, and sale of single cigarettes ban karat, still that will be beneficial for the children, because first when they start, they buy a single cigarette only.
दोतोर मार्केटान ते हर्बल सिगरेट म्हणून कितें येवपा लागला हर्बल सिगरेट ते
This
कितें
is all,
ते
see, it is
This
all,
same,
these are all, gimmicks to, this is a healthier cigarette. I told you, you want to die of AK-47 and you want to die of pistol. दोन्ही हातून मरतलो, तू हर्बल घेतल्यार मरतलो. Then you don't call it a cigarette if it is not. Cigarette म्हणजे it should contain tar and nicotine. The nicotine is the subject which keeps the, that addiction going. So that addiction उरतल्या तर nicotine असल्याशिवाय nothing becomes addictive.
आणि म्हणलं की डेथ फिगर आसा आमच्याकडे टोबॅको कॅन्सर
30% म्हणजे तू कॅल्क्युलेट करचे पडटलें तुका.
सो ऑल आर डेथ 30% आर
30% of the deaths are because of tobacco related.
ओके सो टोटल 1500 cases of tobacco cancer.
No. 1,500 total number of cancers
Cancer.
in Goa
From
per
that-
year.
Okay, from that 30% is of tobacco.
Okay.
सांगा सर अनेक क्वेश्चन आलो की आता अनेक ई सिगरेट्स म्हणून येतात.
E-cigarette actually is banned in India.
ओके
That is one of the best thing what the central government has done. But ते सुरुवातीकूच बॅन केले. नाल्यार otherwise in another few years it would have been flourished in India. So that is officially it is banned. Whatever is available is available.
आप थोड़ा सा